No nonsense gin drinking. All gin, no nonsense.
Hello gin lovers, welcome back. I'm Bobby Freeman and today, my friends, casteth your eyes upon this rather dark but rather sleek and sophisticated little bottle which goes by the name of Bareksten Gin, or at least I think it's Bareksten. I'm not sure this pronunciation. It's that actually says, that would say bear on its own, wouldn't it? Bareksten. I'll go for Bareksten. Bareksten Gin. And this little fellow is actually from Norway. Okay, now I'm trying to think. I don't believe, I've tried a lot of gins on this show, but I don't believe we've had a Norwegian gin before. So this is a first on the show. Even after all these years and all these gins, we're still doing first. We're still pushing boundaries. You are welcome, my friends. And to be honest, I know very little about it at all. So I guess there's nothing more to do other than to crack on and bloody well find out about it. Before we do, I always like to remind everyone at this point in the show that if you like to see me talking about stuff, if you liked all that talking just there, like I did just then, there's plenty more of that talking, but not related to gin. If you head over to the Bobby Freeman Show, where I discuss all manner of things in an extraordinarily hilarious way. So if you fancy a bit of that, click on that thing and you shall be transported over there forthwith. Now sadly, I don't know how to do a Norwegian accent. I'm not really sure what it sounds like, so I'm not even going to attempt it. I'm just going to do it in my own English accent. Bareksten represents the essence of Norway in both taste and character, so apparently this is going to taste like Norway. It's dark, wild, breathtaking and dramatic, just like me. Clean flavours are inspired, there's nothing worse than a dirty flavour, is there? Clean flavours are inspired by ancient craft traditions and are the soul of Bareksten's botanical wonders. A modern gin with hand-picked local herbs, the perfect spirit to enjoy with tonic or dry martinis. Wow, my friends, that sounds damn good to me. Rather kind of enigmatic and a little bit mysterious, but occasionally it's nice to sort of, try something we don't really know not much about it at all, with a sense of kind of, I was going to say trepidation, but it's not trepidation, a sense of excitement that provided it's, meant to be drunk and is not going to kill you. So then, let's crack this little fellow open. Now, I've got a feeling this is going to be one of those tricky seals, which I might, oh no, hang on a minute, I tell a lie, straight off, tease that little bit off. I always find that bit quite pleasing, I don't know why. And we are rewarded with a cork, my friends, and it is, of course, the first ever Norwegian cork test.
The first ever Norwegian cork test.
So, do we have a squeak? I haven't got enough purchase, hang on a second. It's getting to that time of year, it's starting to get a little bit chilly in the studio. Here we go, that's better, hang on. Christ alive, that's tough. Here we go, hang on, so here we go. No squeak at all. It's a very tight fit though, so we're going for the full pull. And I've got a feeling this is going to be quite tricky. I'm not sure how to do it. I need some more purchase, even more purchase. Here we go. Let's get it. Come on. Oh, you swine. It's a very stubborn cork. Oh, good. Oh, good Lord. Wow. For all the effort, I would say that's not the best cork taste I've ever had, just slightly kind of muted, but at the end of the day, we all know, it doesn't matter. You know why? It's just a bit of fun. Right then, let's get it in the old glass, shall we? Beautiful. So, let's get the old nostrils in there. Nostrils? Well, I don't think that's a word. If it is, it's a combination of, obviously, nose and, nostrils. Just in case you're wondering. So, here we go. Now, my regular viewers can probably work out what I'm trying to say with those noises, but for the benefit of people who haven't watched me before, I will use the English language. Wow, it's very kind of fruity. It's got a lot of almost kind of a berry sort of essence in there, and it's kind of deep and dark and, yeah, kind of mysterious, a little bit mysterious, kind of like what the bottle suggests there, to be honest. It's kind of, but there's a kind of a nice zing, sort of tart, sort of sharp edge to it as well, offset in that kind of wallowing sort of dark flavours with a lovely kind of a vroom, vroom, vroom. If indeed that makes any sense at all, which it probably doesn't. So let's get some tonic in it, shall we? And again, like the one we did last week, this one is 46% ABV, which I've said before is kind of the magic number for gin, because it is what the old number 3 over there used. And I always thought that is just, it's a beautiful, it's a great strength of gin. It's like the perfect amount of ABV. So I have high hopes for this one, my friends. So let's get a little little bit of tonic in there. I reckon that should be enough in there. So here we go then, my friends. Thank you as always to my wonderful patrons and my my YouTube members who are literally paying for the gins you see on this show. This is, well, I think it's pronounced Bareksten Gin. I say to all the way from Norway, I say to you, what do they say in Norway instead of cheers? I've absolutely no idea. So I'll just stick with cheers. Here we go. You ready? Cheers. There you go. Right. Now then, that is. It's quite. Okay, here we go. Let me condense that into a language you might understand. It's kind of a very light gin, and kind of flavours are kind of wafting around like this. You've got, obviously we're always looking for juniper, otherwise if it ain't juniper, it ain't gin. And there is kind of it's using juniper, but in a kind of delicate, everything in there is very delicate and kind of sort of a little bit, I suppose, sophisticated. It's quite a sophisticated gin. And yeah, obviously there's juniper in there, but it's kind of just sort of delicately dancing and fleeting around the edge, and it's kind of wafting around with a sort of a deep kind of that kind of essence of berry that I got in the aroma is lurking in there. It's lurking in there somewhere, but again, it's kind of the flavors kind of hit the tongue and sort of gently rise upwards. It's very nice. But that's not to say they're too light. They're kind of mysterious. They're light, but when you swallow, they kind of become, they get a little bit deeper. It's like you swallow and the aftertaste is left behind, but it kind of sinks into you. All that juniper and sort of the stuff I mentioned before kind of sinks in a little bit more just after it's kind of washed under the tongue and gone down the old what's the word? Gullet. But then they're kind of given a little bit of oomph of that little bit extra ABV, and I think it really needs it. With that sort of lighter sort of flavour at the forefront, I think if it hadn't got the 46% ABV, it might have been a little bit kind of lacking in something. But they obviously know what they're doing, because they've used the strength very well to offset it against these kind of mysterious swirling flavours. It's very different to any gin I've had before. Definitely, it's probably one of the most unique gins. It's kind of, you can probably tell I'm a little bit kind of thrown sideways with it. I wasn't sure it's like where we were going with it started, but it kind of works. It's one of those ones it takes a few goes, because you'll sip it and you'll think, oh, that's a little bit different. That's very different to, you know, every other gin I've tried before. But after a couple of goes, you're like, yeah, it's different, but you know what? I kind of like it. And it's also, which is what you don't get too often these days, it's a very smooth gin, which puts me in mind a little bit of Highclere Castle. And the way it glides down, there's a certain kind of silkiness to it, and it makes it very easy to drink. And being a little bit stronger like that, a little bit dangerous as well if you're not too careful. So then, I'm fascinated. This is a very a new experience for me, this one. But that's what I like about gin. You can be taken all over the place and even have new experiences, even at this late stage that I'm at, where I've tried hundreds of gins. So let's give it a go neat. I reckon, it's going to be hard to judge this one, because it is a bit of a strange one. I reckon, I've no idea. I couldn't tell you whether it's going to be any good or not. I'm not a big fan of neat gin, as you know, but let's give it a go. Oh. Hello there. Wow. Okay, that is a different animal altogether. That is like... Go for a second go. Okay, this time it's a lot kind of thicker and kind of viscous, and there you get a load more juniper. That's interesting, because juniper usually gets unlocked when you add the tonic in, but this is really like sitting heavy with all those flavours. Not so much that kind of mysterious sort of sweet berry, that sort of is lost a little bit, but to the fore comes the juniper in a whacking great, well, whack. And as you know, I'm not a big fan of neat gin, but I tell you what, I reckon that could be the first time ever I prefer the neat gin than the gin and tonic. However, my friends, this is, you're probably thinking to yourself, Freeman, that sounds rather intriguing and I'd like to try it. But How much is it going to cost me? Is all that mysterious and mystery and intrigue going to cost me a fortune? Well, it is not going to cost you a fortune. It's a little bit, it's getting towards the higher end of what I like to pay for a non-mainstream gin, but still nicely below the cusp. It is at 38, well, it varies depending on where you get it, but I got this, well, I just looked on the website, just Googled it, and it came up as £38 on one of the main distributors here in the UK, which is, to be honest, I think if you're going to push the boat out a little bit, let's make it for something truly unique and truly new. And I am happy to pay that every single day of the week, if only for the mystery alone. So guys, to sum up, this is what I always say. I've been doing this show for what? About getting on for over 3 years now. I think I've tried so many gins. You think after a while, you just get, everything's just gonna be the same. But even now, something comes along which is a complete curveball from an area of the world which we've never had gin before, and it completely throws me for six. I mean, look, for God's sake, it's even made me prefer the neat gin over the gin and tonic. That's something really special. And I think if you're watching this show and you're into gin, which I assume you are if you're watching it, you've probably got a gin collection. I've seen lots of people's gin collections, all sorts of bottles and all the sort of the ones we've seen before. But if you're a collector and you've tried everything and you want something a little bit different, then you could do a lot worse than checking out or keeping an eye out for Bareksten. I keep saying, I'm sure I've said the name several different ways throughout the video, but however it is, you can see it there, whatever it is there. This little black bottle, my friends, keep a lookout for it, because this is something truly unique, and it's gonna complete your collection. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video today. I genuinely enjoyed bringing it to you, and if you have, then as always, don't forget to express your enjoyment by pressing the subscribing to my channel, pressing the like button on this video. If you want to support the show, head over to the Patreon page, or indeed click the join one of my YouTube members, or you can click that super like thing below the video. But until next time guys, we all know the drill. Take care, stay safe. Thank you to all my patrons and members, every last one of you, and of course, keep drinking the gin.